John, this is an honor, a privilege. Just thank you for taking some time out to speak with me today.
Hey, Brandon, good to meet you. What town are you in?
I'm in Queens, Woodside, New York. Queens, New York City.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I want to talk about your book, obviously, because it's brilliant. It is the perfect book to what's going on in the world right now. Can you, for those who
How
don't,
so? How so?
I want you to explain why is this book for the seeker in all of us? Because we're all looking for something now. We all have time to look for something.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, we are all seekers, and you don't have to be iconic musician climbing charts. You can play piano in a closet and no one hears it, or paint, and you're getting into the same zone. And maybe I never thought of this till now. It's really diverse, the artist I wanted to give a tip of the hat to. You know, it's like Willie Nelson and a classical conductor and rock and roll. And America is a big melting pot. And all these people fed me, all these diverse people. So we can, be the United States.
I know. It seems like an oxymoron nowadays, but that's why your book is perfect. I mean, your introduction to it, and it's something I feel like I philosophize with my therapist. I felt like I was kind of, in therapy, kind of reading the beginning of your book. I don't know if that was
I saved you a lot of money. Good. All right.
I want to ask, because the chapter that stood out to me, there was many that stood out to me. The one with Jim Morrison, and it's kind of I forget, because I'm 37. I don't know if you can tell. It's like I forget that he wasn't a trained singer. He wasn't a trained musician when he joined you. So after all these years, because this is your third book, you're talking about him. Is there a feel? What feeling do you get talking about Jim now? Like maybe someone like me who didn't experience him. Do you still feel like he's here? Has it waned on you after all these years? I mean, I guess, how do you feel about your friend all these years later, still writing about him?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I occasionally dream about him. I had one not too long ago where he was back and he was dressed in like an Armani suit and wanted to play, wanted to play music. And that felt really good. Jim was, besides being an incredible wild man, the Lizard King, he had a real vulnerable side. And there was a sweetness there that, most people don't know. But, in rehearsal, when we were hanging out, he was open. He got caught by alcoholism, and we didn't have substance abuse clinics, and we didn't know he had a disease, so we didn't know what to do. I mean, I was kind of tortured. I knew there was an elephant in the room, but I couldn't define it. But we have his music, and it's such a gift. Feeds me all the time.
It feeds me too. Honestly, it's a connection that I have with my dad still, who passed away eight years ago. He's the one who got me into the Doors.
Oh,
so he's smiling from above right now, watching.
That's beautiful.
But I want to wrap up because I know you're short on time, and this has been an honor.
No, I'm okay. I like this. Go on.
Thank you. Back in the year 2000, and this is it's somebody who reminds me, my generation's Jim Morrison per se. He wasn't in the book, and perhaps he'll be in a sequel, The Seekers 2. Is Scott Weiland. I'm wondering.
Oh yeah.
What interaction did you have with Scott? Because he was similar to Jim in a lot of ways. And when you did you played with the Doors, Scott, and a lot of people thought he did a great job. And there was even talk, Ray Manzarek said at the time, that he might do an album or record with him. So if you can talk about Scott Weiland a little bit, if you could.
Yeah, great singer. It was on Storytellers that he performed with us. I'm trying to remember which song. It was Break On Through.
5 to 1.
5 to 1 too.
Mm-hmm. 2 songs.
Yeah, and I think there was a lyric. She gets high, and we had to edit out the word high, and Ray was encouraging him to sing that, and I said, "You don't have to sing it, man." And I didn't know that Scott had, like Jim, the addictive gene. I wish I had known that, maybe could have pointed him towards some sort of recovery road. I miss that guy. He was a great singer. Stone Temple Pilots are wonderful. We played with the bass player Robert on a tribute to Ray. I hope it comes out this year, called "Break On Through," a tribute to Ray Manzarek. It's a film of a concert that Robert Delory played with us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, I hope that does come out. And if I can squeeze in one more, maybe it's a quick answer. When you wrap up the book, you talk about how the great ones are always a few steps ahead. That it was a conversation that you had with Bob Dylan that, they have to catch up. Is there anyone today, an artist today, that we haven't caught up with yet that you can see?
I wish I had my finger on the pulse of all of it. But right off the hand, I can't think. Follow your intuition. It's inside. The answers are inside, and then you bring it out. So who's ever's out there, they're coming.
All right. Well, hopefully they get inspired by your book. I know that I was, and it's great that you've become an author, and I hope you do another one, because the amount of people that you've met over your career, I mean, these are just a few samples of the seekers that you've had interaction with. So,
yeah, well, words have become my new musical notes. I love them.
I love it too. John, this has been an honor. I hope we get to do this again, and you have yourself a great day.
All right, see ya.
Take care.
Hey guys, this is Robby Krieger from The Doors, and you're listening to Appetite for Distortion.
Robby Krieger, welcome to the AFD show.
Hello.
Hey Robby, how are you today?
I'm pretty good, man.
I gotta say, to say this is an honor is an understatement. I know you're here. We're talking about the 50th anniversary of Morrison Hotel. Came out in 1970. I know you know this already, but I was born in 1983. But I got to tell you, Morrison Hotel, The Doors, was my introduction to rock and roll through my late father. And I still remember him putting on Morrison Hotel, Roadhouse Blues, of course, first track. And he stopped and he points out, between singing, and he says, "Do it, Robby, do it." And he wants me to pay attention to that line because he just loved the feel of The Doors. So just to say, this just means so much. So I appreciate your time today, because, well, I guess the first question is, what does it mean? 50 years later, of course, The Doors have been around for longer than that. When someone my age or even younger says how much The Doors and the music you wrote means to them, does that still blow you away, or are you used to that by now?
No, it still blows me away, especially when young people come up to me and tell me stuff like that, Like I get, 10, 12-year-olds that, I ask them, what was your parents the Doors fan? And they go, no, I just, my friend at school told me about it. Or, so it's still is working today. Amazing.
It really is. And again, it was my dad. It was one of the few bands both my dad and my mom agreed upon, because he was rock and roll, Doors and Zeppelin, and she was doo-wop. But the Doors, that's who I grew up with.
Wow.
It is. I mean, I got to see the Doors of the 21st century, with Ian Asper.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess I want
Where was that?
That was at Jones Beach, Long Island.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember that one.
So, I mean, because you've obviously had a lot of, you've worked with so many different artists over the years, collaborating. So I guess one question is, because I was just looking this up, someone sent me a video, Roadhouse Blues that you did with Scott Weiland. So if you can remember, this was, I believe in 2000. So I'm just curious, do you remember, unfortunately, another lead singer who left us too soon, what it was like playing with Scott?
That was great. In fact, it was his whole band was there, and they played on this. It was like a Doors tribute band, or maybe you're thinking of the TV show, the Storyteller.
This was the House of Blues LA that I'm looking at. And
House of...
Yeah, it was with Stone Temple Pilots. It was with the whole band.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, he was a big Doors fan, and he played on quite a few of our little, like I said, he did this TV show, Storytellers, with us, and and I sat in with those guys at a couple of concerts. Where was it? Bonnaroo, I think. And those are cool guys, and my friend Robert DeLeo is the bass player for Stone Temple Pilots. Has done a lot of stuff with us too.
Yeah.
So I love that.
I mean, obviously, so it's great that when you love these, I mean, I look at them as bands I grew up with technically, but they're fans of yours. These big rock stars are fans of yours. So what I love on this reissue of Morrison Hotel, we're hearing these cover versions of music that you loved. So going back even further. So can you talk to me a little bit about B.B. King? Because you guys you jammed on Rock Me, and he's another one of just the greats. I did get a chance to see B.B. thankfully before he passed away.
Good, yeah, he's great. Well, Ray Manzarek grew up in Chicago, so he used to go see Muddy and Howlin' Wolf and all those guys, quite often. And one time he asked to sit in. I think it was with Muddy, but he didn't get the job. At least he asked. And then I remember one time we were in Chicago, and Ray took us all to see Howlin' Wolf. And boy, that was amazing.
Wow. Is there, because I still, obviously we want to focus, we can go so many different ways, and I know we're short on time. Is there a favorite song that you wrote that's on Morrison Hotel? Is it Peace Frog? Is it, what's your favorite, or does it change? Has it changed throughout over the years?
Yeah, actually on this album, I didn't write any of the words. It's all Jim Morrison's words, but I wrote a lot of the music. And Peace Frog is probably my favorite one. I had the music for that all done, and I couldn't think of any words, and I asked Jim, to write some words for it, and he wasn't coming up with anything. So finally, he looked in his book, in his notes that he always kept with him. A lot of stuff was way early, like he wrote even in high school and stuff. And he found this poem called Abortion Stories. And if you listen to the words, Peace Frog, you can tell it's about an abortion. Blood in the streets in the town of Chicago, and chicane. You wouldn't think when you first heard it that it was about an abortion, but so anyway, we obviously couldn't call it Abortion Stories. I guess we could have, but it would be kind of weird. So he came up with somehow Peace Frog. There's nothing to do with the song,
Wow.
But I love it.
I'm today years old when I found that out. I had no idea because, as much as I love Jim's voice and lyrics, it's the music right away. It's your music that grabs me from each of all these songs, because a lot of times, just like now, I didn't understand what Jim was writing about or talking about. I still loved it, but it was the music that grabbed me first. Another artist, I'm curious, like when you play with, not just like a singer, because I know you've worked with different singers and joining people on stage, but other guitarists. I was looking through some photos of you guys jamming on the Doors' 40th anniversary. So when that happens,
all right.
Yeah. So when that happens, as accomplished as Slash is, does he look at you and try to learn from you? Does he pick your brain, or is it vice versa? Maybe, or do you guys just jam out? How does that work?
I wish I had more time to hang out with Slash, because when we played, what was that? It was in the only time I really played with him, jammed with him was. It was a thing in Denver, I think, and it was kind of an ode to Janis Joplin. So we were doing all the Janis Joplin songs.
Okay.
So I couldn't really. I was trying to watch what he was doing and stuff, but one of these days I'm gonna hang out with him and pick his brain.
Okay, that's interesting that you say you want to pick his brain, because I would look at him. And thinking that because he's also a student of the instrument, would want to pick yours, considering you paved the way, kind of for a bit. So it's funny.
Maybe.
You're so humble. Like, do people like Slash or do they say that you paved the way, and you're just like, no, I'm just a dude playing guitar still all these years later.
I think guitar players are, pretty. They won't let you know stuff like that. Although I was with the guy from Toto the other day, Steve. Look at there.
Oh yeah.
And
Steve
he was, and he was telling me about how he used to listen to all my stuff and get some ideas from it and stuff. That was pretty cool.
Just incredible. I hope I get to speak with you for and pick your brain for longer, because you've obviously accomplished so much. But obviously the Morrison Hotel, the 50th anniversary, that we're celebrating this iconic album all these years later that has affected people like me who weren't alive, unfortunately, to see the Doors in their full force, but still obviously have an impact today. So Robbie, I can't thank you enough for your time today, and I hope we get to do this again.
All right, man. Yeah, I hope so. That would be great.